Hey, it's me from the future. 2020 really hasn't been a great year for many reasons, it seems. So I thought it'd be nice for a change to see what airline travel was, and hopefully will be again someday. The following flight review was filmed in December of 2019, while it was still okay to jet around the world without a mask. Let's hope we can do this again real soon. Etihad First Class. Yes, the apartment on the A380 gets all the fame, but there's also a fully enclosed suite with lie flat bed on the 787 and 777. And with the A380 potentially on the way out, what's Etihad's first class like on a plane you can actually fly now? Let's find out. I arrived at Malay's Velana airport the proper way, by boat. Given the time of my speedboat, I got to the airport about 5 hours before my flight. But security won't let you into the check-in area until 3 hours before. Fortunately, there are some lounges in the pre-check-in waiting area. None of these are tied to airlines, but some partner with lounge memberships, and others partner with various resorts. I went to the Wellness Lounge that accepted Priority Pass, Dragon Pass, and the Amex Platinum, though it looks like they don't take Priority Pass anymore. I mean, it's an air-conditioned waiting area with some drinks, snacks, and Wi-Fi, but no, I am not going into great detail here. After 2 hours, I went to check in. There was no signage for first-class check-in, only business. Etihad runs both the A320 with recliner business class as well as the long-haul 787 on this route, so I understand the simplicity. The Malay airport is understandably pretty modest, with a large duty-free area, few concessions, and a view of the runway. You can see that both my 787 as well as the earlier A320 flight sit on the ground for quite a while. Etihad had handed me a pass for a contract lounge. I got so excited when I saw the name. Sadly, it's actually pronounced Li Li. Damn, I wrote that joke before I even got here. It was spacious and not crowded. The food was alright looking, though I only nibbled. The Wi-Fi was quite solid. Boarding was from a downstairs waiting area, and was slightly delayed due to a Qatar 787. That rival Gulf carrier will prove to be important shortly. First and business class passengers boarded the bus first, and we drove down the wet apron. Oh look, it's a Sri Lankan A330! If I were a real YouTuber, this would be the point of the video where I tell you to subscribe to the channel to see that video when it comes out. I'd use some really annoying sounds, silly animations, and really interrupt the viewing experience. Click the button, you click it! I'd say to smash the like button, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, throw money at my Patreon, and hell, OnlyFans while you're at it. But yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm definitely not employing preterition here to ask you to subscribe. Oh no, I would never do that. Business class passengers were pointed towards their seats, but I was personally escorted to seat 2A. The first class cabin is configured in 2 rows of 1-2-1. In the first row, the middle seats face forward while the window seats face backwards, while it's the opposite in the second row. The seats are 26 inches wide, a full 3.5 inches narrower than the same suite on the 777. As I was starting to get settled, I had my GoPro tucked in my hand. While I never try to actively film crew, I was warned by the flight attendant against including them in any shots. Etihad is one of those airlines that gets very skittish with photography, so please be respectful or be a sellout and tell them you're coming. I ended up being much more creative in my next flight on the A380. We were offered glasses of orange juice and water, served with a cool towel, dates, and 90 megabytes of free Wi-Fi. I confirmed that they couldn't offer us champagne on the ground, as the Maldives are a completely dry country. Wait, you think this is what the Maldives are like? Ha, perhaps you should watch my guide to the real Maldives after this video. Subsequently, I was served Arabic coffee, and dinner and 2 different drink orders were taken. The cabin crew is from all over. I heard English accents from Australia, India, and Eastern Europe for sure. I was surprised to find an amenity kit on such a short flight given Etihad's cost cutting. It featured Acqua di Parma products with the basics, though no PJs were offered. The Traveler's Prayer played, as did the safety video, plus advertisements, and we prepared to push back from our stand. Except we couldn't. Large planes like the 787 need a tow bar to connect to a pusher truck. Remember that Qatar 787? When pushing back that aircraft, the tow bar broke. And apparently, that was the only tow bar in service at the airport. And being in the middle of the Indian Ocean, it's not like there's an easy way to fix it or get another one. The captain apologized that there was no ETA on a solution. Fortunately, with the cabin door closed, Sharia law no longer applied and the party could start. I was welcomed by the cabin manager personally, and was served Charles Hensidek's 2006 champagne with nuts, wasabi peas, and olives. All were good, though one of the olives had turned. My glass was refilled multiple times without asking. When I got up to use the restroom, my glass was refilled, nuts restocked, and the seat tidied, all in a matter of seconds. Speaking of seats, let's take a tour on the ground while the lights are on. There's no overhead bins at all in the first class cabin. Bags go under the ottoman, though there is a closet for larger items as well. Towards the windows, there's a storage compartment and a secret minibar. The beverages were only slightly chilled, and yeah, it's completely pointless. There's a single, rather strong and loud air nozzle. On the right, there's a touch panel for the seat as well as a touch remote. Under the armrest is USB power and a storage compartment. The seat can be controlled by both the touchscreen as well as physical buttons. The TV is large and bright, but feels really far away. I previously said that Etihad's entertainment was bare bones, and perhaps that was a bit harsh. There is a wide selection, but it is limited on Western films and TV that I'd actually want to watch. There, is that better?
You lied.
I exaggerate.
Finally, there's a coat closet by the door. After about an hour and 20 minutes of delay, the captain said we were good to go and we pushed back. No idea if they found a new tow bar or just used duct tape, but hey, it worked. Flying time was 3 hours and 40 minutes at 40,000 feet, and due to storms there was some turbulence as we ascended. With yet more champagne and cheese and onion bread, the dinner service began. I ordered the Arabic meze to start. The kibbeh was pretty good but rather salty. The cheese-filled egg roll was kind of odd. The hummus, tabbouleh, and baba ganoush were all pretty good, though I wouldn't say they were better than Turkish business class. I switched to red wine for my main, and ordered the beef tenderloin, served with potato gratin and green beans. It was plated beautifully, and I excitedly sliced into it. It smelled wonderful, and was clearly well seasoned. But Jesus!
Jesus Christ!
It was beyond well done. Cooking a tenderloin like this is criminal. The green beans were also nuked to hell and flavorless. I have no idea what happened here. Was it overcooked because of the delay? Because this was not the Abu Dhabi hub? Or because this flight lacked a chef due to the short duration? I don't know. I ate it. It was alright. But it was a huge disappointment. The service was great and proactive, and I was offered a dessert wine when I had finished my main. Mind you, I still had glasses of champagne and red wine I had yet to finish. I ordered an apple crumble for dessert. It lacked the expected crunch and was overly sweet for my taste, but was quite good. Service concluded with another towel and some truffles. Given the new arrival time, I asked for the bed to be made. Even though the seat across from me was empty, the flight attendant prepared my seat. The seat lowers to connect with the ottoman, forming a single surface. With the manual doors closed, it really is quite private and secluded. The bed was quite large, and stretching out as far as I could only barely touch from end to end. Of course it's wide enough to toss and turn to your heart's content. The bedding was fine, but nothing about it screamed comfort or luxury to me, and I especially wasn't fond of the pillow, but I know that's a personal preference. I had asked not to be woken for tea or coffee, and they let me sleep until 25 minutes prior to landing. We touched down in Abu Dhabi at 1 AM. I was thanked again by the cabin manager with a handshake, and we deplaned next to a Pakistani Airlines flight. From there I headed to the Premier Inn to crash for a few hours before my next glorious flight in first-class apartments on the A380. So Etihad's first-class suite on the 787. Of course it's complete overkill for such a short flight. But it was sure better than the earlier flight I could have taken on the A320, and much better than any 787 business class by a country mile. Though obviously it's not as over the top as the apartment on the A380. The service was wonderful as well, but I was slightly underwhelmed with the food in general and the steak very much in particular. I'd end up having much better food on my next flight. But the inconsistency seems typical for Etihad. It's also quite likely that Etihad may phase out first class on the 787, and there's a reason why they aren't taking any more deliveries with first class. But if you want a really great seat in a unique configuration, go ahead and book it while you can. There sure are worse ways of crossing the Indian Ocean. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click that button and please subscribe for many more flight reviews to come. I'll see you on the next one.